3 years ago, I was writhing on the cold bathroom tile. I hadn't showered in days and was wearing the same pajamas I'd been wearing for over a week. I could hardly catch a breath between sobs, and I spent my afternoon drinking and visualizing my suicide. I was sick, I was hurting, I was exhausted right down to my bones, and I was terrified. Terrified that I couldn't stop the pain of deep depression. Terrified because I couldn't stop attempting to alleviate my pain with booze. Terrified that I would never feel okay. Never mind feeling good. I just wanted to feel okay. Terrified that my life had spiraled so far out of my own control that I would never get a grip on it again. Over the last few months of my active addiction, I did and said some truly awful things. I made some frighteningly destructive decisions during bouts of drunkenness, and I almost completely ignored my own child when she most needed her mother's attention. I didn't care about consequences. I didn't care about anything at all, except for finally getting just enough alcohol in my bloodstream so I could pass out and stop feeling. Today, I look at the news of Philip Seymour Hoffman's tragically sad and lonely passing, and I'm reminded, there but for the grace of God go I. Not taking the news personally is difficult, especially upon hearing that Hoffman had been sober for 23 years. After 3 years of my own God-given sobriety, I am shown the brutal truth. I can never stop paying attention to my own spiritual health, not for one moment, for the rest of my life. It's made even more disturbingly personal to me when I read the hateful, cold comments that people on the internet are leaving in regards to Hoffman's passing. Many are saying that it was his own fault, that he deserved what he got. A junkie doesn't deserve to live. They are a waste of skin, nothing more. I cannot express just how painful it is to hear my brothers and sisters in the human race spouting off such callous nonsense. Many people who know me might say I am kind, I am fair, I am loving, I am authentic. They may tell you that I contribute some sort of creative energy into the world. Some of them would offer to you that I was there for them when they were hurting, and that in some way I was able to help them find their path to healing. I'm certain that not everyone likes me or wants to spend time with me, but for the most part, I don't burn bridges. I strive to be compassionate, helpful, a good mom, a good friend. I'm not a degenerate. I'm not a horrible, selfish loser who wants nothing more than to get trashed with no regard to who I might hurt. And even in the height of my using, I wasn't that. I wasn't engaging in these things for fun. I was self-medicating a serious and dangerous depression. I'd be willing to bet that Philip Seymour Hoffman was likely feeling the same pain that I felt, as were most, if not all, addicts who have succumbed to overdose. Most of the recovering addicts I've met are amazing individuals, and this world is a better place for their being here. And many of them wouldn't be the healthy contributions to society that they are today had they not first been addicts. Being at the bottom of a dark and lonely hole really helps one to appreciate standing on solid ground. Before casting judgment on an addict, imagine the despair. Imagine what it must feel like to believe there is no alternative, to see no other option, to just sit there all alone on the floor in front of your toilet with a needle in your arm, knowing that you might lose everyone you love, everything you've worked for years. In fact, you might lose your life. And in fact, you might welcome just that. These people need love, not more fuel poured on the fire of their self-loathing. They are not choosing despair. For them, it is not a choice. They do not want to suffer. They would want to be happy, just like everyone else. They do not see any other option. Loving them doesn't mean accepting destructive behavior or enabling their addiction. But it does mean having compassion rather than disdain. So much is at stake. This is truly a life or death situation. And that's the end of that article. And I would say I appreciate this person who wrote this article. And if I seem to take it so personally is because, you know, that's part of what our blog is all about. And we tend to see that, I'm going to say that sin is the problem, not just an addiction to a mind-altering drug. And at the height of my depression and where I was suicidal, I wanted to escape the pain, and I did it in different ways. And I've used medication just to help me sleep, and I missed out on time with my precious oldest daughter when she was growing up as a child. And you know, there is hope, and Jesus is the answer, and I'm telling you that His love is the answer. His love is the answer. He does not continue to condemn us when He saves us. He doesn't condemn us at all. So I'm so glad that I was able to read that article and share it with you. Please leave comments and feedback. Thank you.